Wrestlers who WWE has cooled off. Braun Breaker. If Obafemi didn't exist, Braun Breaker would already be done with Seth Rollins, he would win the King of the Ring tournament, and then would face Roman Reigns at SummerSlam and most likely beat him. But because Obafemi does exist, WWE has no choice but to cool off Braun Breaker, because fans would much rather have Obafemi in that spot. From a character standpoint and a mic standpoint, Braun Breaker has always been underwhelming, and let's be honest, ever since returning from injury, he's lost a lot of his aura. I'll be very curious to see what they do with him after this Seth Rollins feud is over, because right now, Braun Breaker is in a much weaker spot than he was in around November of last year. Dominic Mysterio. Wind the clocks back to 2023 or 2024, Dom Mysterio was one of, if not the biggest heel in all of wrestling. Sure, there was Roman Reigns, but Dom was getting the loudest boos out of everyone. And even to this day, Dom gets a ton of boos. The only problem is WWE never gives him a mic in front of a live audience. He's solely been relegated to backstage segments which do nothing for him. And over the past few years, the only meaningful feud that he's had has been with Finn Balor. Hopefully WWE does something different with Dominic Mysterio before he gets stale, because as a character, he hasn't evolved in years. Lyra Valkyria. From an in-ring standpoint, Lyra is one of the best women on the entire roster, but after that SummerSlam match with Becky Lynch where a lot went wrong, it feels like WWE has actively pushed her to the side. It's been almost a year of Lyra Valkyria in the tag division with Bayley, most of that story being told in backstage segments as opposed to in the ring, and given how often she loses and takes pins, it feels like WWE is taking someone who could be a main eventer and treating them like a perennial mid-carder. I do think this feud with Sol Ruca could change things though if Lyra turns heel. I think that's what's needed to take her to that next level. Maxine Dupree. Here's another one of Becky Lynch's former opponents who WWE has super cooled off. After winning the IC title in Madison Square Garden, WWE quickly had Maxine lose it and then get into a big nothing feud with Natty, and that has absolutely screeched Maxine Dupree's career to a halt. She has been seen backstage with Austin Theory, so it feels like she's going to join the Vision as a new member at some point, but I don't know why WWE is doing that to begin with. The women's division already has plenty of heels, and the crowd was getting behind Maxine Dupree as IC champion. So to basically pull her off TV and maybe turn her heel, it just feels very misguided. LA Knight. This dude skyrocketed to the main event scene in 2023. In 2024, he won the US Championship, and since then, he's done a whole lot of nothing. He's even said so in interviews. LA Knight is the definition of a superstar who WWE has actively cooled down. I still think LA Knight should have gotten the push that Jey Uso got at WrestleMania 41. At this point, I hope he wins Money in the Bank or a world title very soon, because unfortunately, it does feel like WWE has missed that window. Am I right or am I right? Who are some characters who you think WWE has cooled off?